The First Lady of the Republic, Chantal Biya, reaches out to victims of the Kumba school shooting, still in hospital in Boya and Mutengene, a way to wish them quick recovery. A Cameroonian movie, The Fisherman's Diary, has been named the best film for 2020 at the 24th edition of the Écran Noir Festival, which ended Saturday in Yaoundé. Plus, sports. Team Cameroon emerged as champion of the 2020 African Judo Open with 44 medals, 9 of them in gold. The Africa Open also qualifies for the Olympic Games. Good evening and welcome to the 7:30 News. I am Benen Boumagana in Yaoundé.
Each of us must comply with the measures that have been taken.
We open this evening with this letter from the President of the Republic to the President-elect of the United States of America, Joe Biden. Mr. President-elect, your election as President of the United States of America gives me great pleasure to extend to you my warm and sincere congratulations, as well as my wishes of success in the discharge of your duties. I see your election as the translation of the democratic vitality of your country and the expression of the backing of your fellow citizens for your social project. I avail myself of this solemn occasion to assure you of my readiness to work with you to the continued strengthening and development of the excellent relations of friendship between our countries. Accept, Mr. President-elect, the assurances of my highest consideration. Signed, His Excellency Paul Biya, President of the Republic of Cameroon. The First Lady of the Republic, Chantal Biya, has extended a hand of fellowship to survivors of the Kumba school massacre who are still in hospital in Boya and Mutengene. Upon instruction from the Prime Minister and Head of Government, officials of the Southwest Regional Delegation of Public Health handed a donation from the First Lady to the victims. Hombo Suzy Monjoa reports.
Despite her situation, little Francisca Akimbom could still manage a smile after receiving the gift from the First Lady, Madame Chantal Biya. Her condition has improved.
She's now able to stand up and walk with a walker. We still have some other extensive injuries around the perineum which we are taking care of. But she's quite stable now and doing much better. So we hope she can be with us for just about 2-3 weeks, and if the wounds are clean, then she will be fit to go home. She may be able to go back to school in the second term.
Little James, Juliet and Blessing, still in admission at the regional hospital in Boya, also received their token handed to them by the delegate of public health for the Southwest.
These gifts are from the First Lady, Madame Chantal Biya, to the victims who are still in hospitalization, and some financial assistance for them to be able to reverse certain costs which they have incurred so far.
The donation to these survivors was in continuation of what was done for their peers who also survived the incident in Kumba by the head of government.
Over 100 students with outstanding results in the GCE Advanced Level Certificate Examinations and the Baccalaureate for the 2019-2020 school year have received scholarships. This was during the 8th edition of the Excellence Award organized by the CPDM member of the National Assembly for Kunki, Honorable Albert Quinche. Let's get details from Esther Kmer.
Celebrating excellence amidst threats to education, the students of Kunki, garbed in black face masks in memory of the slain pupils in Kumba, are encouraged to shine in their studies. Honorable Albert Quinche, grounded in their difficulties, come to their aid for the 8th time, with special emphasis laid on those from the northwest and southwest regions.
We have decided to help students from these regions who are schooling here by giving them scholarships. This will encourage them to continue to work hard and to feel at home in the Konki.
Beyond promoting unity and living together, the renowned architect of development, Victor Foto, is honored.
The special prize to the best Anglophone and Francophone students is in honor of the Patriarch Victor Foto for all what he has done for the development of Cameroon. This will now be tradition every year in memory of him.
An initiative lauded by the region's authorities.
This is a stimulant to the youth. We express our gratitude to him for this wonderful gesture. We request him to continue to take care of the internally displaced.
The Excellence Award has tremendously improved on the performance of pupils in the Konki with enviable rankings in the national honor roll.
The 2020-2021 academic year of the African Institute of Computer Sciences has kicked off in Garoua with Ada Rihanatu as the new chief of center. She was installed into her functions by the resident representative of the school, Claude Abanda. Vanessa Woodnang-Snamung reports.
Hard work, discipline, and assiduity are expected to guide the teachers and learners of the African Institute for Computer Sciences, IAI Cameroon in Garoua, for resounding success at the end of the academic year. Challenges, among others, which the new chief of center, Ada Rihanatu, is called to bravely uphold.
C'est un grand challenge. It is a huge assignment which lies ahead of me, and I intend to put in all my best.
On the same occasion, youth in the region were encouraged to develop more interest in information communication technology currently promoted in this part of the country, mindful of the various job opportunities it offers.
African Institute of Computer Science in Garoua has a very important project for youths, for women, for everybody, FCT training, digitalization.
Mr. Abanda equally paid a courtesy visit to the City Council and the Garoua Council, with whom memorandums of understanding will soon be signed.
The 24th edition of the Écran Noir Film Festival has come to an end with The Fisherman's Diary, a Cameroonian movie named the best film for 2020. While drawing the curtains last evening in Yaoundé, the Minister of Arts and Culture, Ismaël Bidungpat, lauded the efforts of stakeholders and assured them of continuous government support. Gerard Nanji tells us more.
From short to features, web and TV series to documentaries, productions in 9 categories animated this year's Écran Noir Film Festival. The Fisherman's Diary of Enan John Scott was named the best film for 2020. 12-year-old Faith Fidel emerged Best Actress in her role in the same film. Neville Afon clinched the coveted prize of the film, 10 days in confinement.
I had to do a movie of 10 minutes maximum that talks about the quarantine. So through it, we try to create something unique.
At a time when Godis Fongwa backs home the best actor in the film, saving Bango to the delight of the director.
We tell stories of love. We tell stories of peace. We tell stories of unity. We have a dream to tell our story in every municipality in Cameroon.
The honorary prize Écran d'Or went to The Heart of Africa, a film from the Democratic Republic of Congo. While drawing the curtains, the Minister of Arts and Culture saluted the rich repertoire of the film industry in Cameroon. Another appointment has been taken for next year.
Now let's talk about the road safety campaign. No delinquent road user is permitted on the Cameroonian highways by the National Gendarmerie Road Safety Task Force. Kylian Difon followed the Alpha Detachment team to the Yaoundé-Douala axis Saturday and reports that even where defaulters seek to justify their offences, the Road Safety Squad is firm. His report.
Yaoundé Douala National Road number 3 this weekend. Every user who disrespects the highway code has someone or something to blame.
They should make sure that those bots are not hidden in the bush. But when we want to track people as if we want to catch some rats over, so I don't think so. That is what we want to do.
The National Gendarmerie Road Safety Task Force is firm on delinquent users.
If we have the possibility to set a security trap on the highway for those recalcitrants, we will not hesitate to do it because they are the people causing accidents on the highway.
Anti-COVID-19 measures are still a priority of the National Gendarmerie.
Notre traditionnelle mission.
In addition to our traditional missions, we make sure that all users respect COVID-19 barrier measures. They wear face masks, they wash their hands and also use hand sanitizers.
On a des gels hydroalcooliques.
Driver or passenger, get it right before you meet the National Gendarmerie on the highways.
A new book on the atrocities of Boko Haram insurgency and its effects on the growth of Christian churches in the far north region is now available in bookstores in parts of the country. The book is authored by a journalist, Benjamin Yakana, and published by Edition Lupepo. Ewane Epoli attended the launching ceremony of that book and tells us more about the document.
The publication, known as Edition Lupepo, is a book written by Benjamin Yakana. In the 98-page book, he reflects on the spillover of the terrorist activities of the Boko Haram insurgency.
Those people have attacked our country and they are killing people, they are killing Christians, they are killing Muslims. So we are talking about what they are doing there. Our brothers there are really suffering. So we want to say to all people here that there is something to do, to pray for those people.
The author argues that although Christian churches have suffered at the hands of Boko Haram insurgents, they have engaged in various beneficial responses underpinned by the Christian values of peace and love.
The government is doing much. We here in Yaoundé, in Douala, in Bafoussam, we must involve by doing something for those people.
The dedication ceremony of the new book Edition Lupepo was marked by a film projection to show the public what victims of terrorism go through daily in some parts of Cameroon hit by the socio-political crisis.
Another book, this one, aimed at promoting the values of African utensils and Cameroon's cultural heritage, has been launched at the Yaoundé International Handicraft Center. Titled in French, Sublime Table, l'art de la table à l'africaine. The piece of work, written by Rachel Sabze and Rachel Sabze Haman Mana. This follows 3 years of intense research, as we hear in this report by Romeo Kmer.
In the piece of work, the author valorizes the use of African utensils and African cuisine, plus decorations. It has taken Rachel Mana 3 years of research to come out with the book.
I found out that we are just buying things coming from abroad. Why not using what we have around us?
Presiding over the event, the Secretary General at the Ministry of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Social Economy and Handicraft hailed the initiative. He described the move as a bold step to cherish and preserve Cameroon's cultural heritage.
It's concerned to promote their activities and to allow them to contribute better in the growth of our country.
Sublime Table, l'art de la table à l'africaine by Rachel Sabze Haman Mana is sold in bookshops in Yaoundé at 35,000 francs. The piece of work was edited by Haman Mana, husband of the author.
We see our few stories on the celebration of the 38th anniversary of Pobia's accession to power coming to our newsroom. From Santa subdivision in the northwest region, CPDM bigwigs have appealed to party supporters in that area to go beyond party indignations and work towards restoring peace in the locality and region at large. Let's get details from Karin Tosam.
CPDM party supporters in Santa subdivision say the infrastructural development witnessed in the area is thanks to the Biya administration.
Formerly, we had one secondary school in Santa. We used to go to secondary school in Bamenda. Today, behind every house, you have a school. We are thankful for the hospitals, the health infrastructure of Santa. People are sick, they can turn around their villages and go to hospital. All the villages are accessible by road, which are maintained regularly by the council.
Party sympathizers during the 30th anniversary celebration were schooled on the importance of the upcoming December 6 regional election, which is a major step to effective decentralization in the region.
And over in the West region, supporters of the Mifi Center section of the YCPDM have thanked President Paul Biya for appointing one of theirs, Gilles Vowembe, as the managing director of the Modern South firm. Chanceline Nanze from our West Regional Bureau tells us more about the celebration of the 38th anniversary of Paul Biya's accession to power.
The small hall of the CPDM Party House in Bafoussam hosted the celebration of the 38th anniversary of the accession of President Paul Biya to power, an event that took place in a particular context, given that the organization was done by the youth wing of the party in strict respect of the circular from the Secretary General of the Central Committee of the CPDM, Jean Kweti, restricting the attendance to maximum 60 people. According to the president of the Mifi Center section of the YCPDM, Constantin Sizi, their intention was to thank President Paul Biya for appointing their vice treasurer, Gilles Wembe, managing director of the South firm, while accompanying the youth in wishing their national chairman happy 38 years at the helm of the country. The CPDM member of parliament for the Mifi, Honorable Flaubert Tingang, told them that the best way to show support to President Paul Biya will be through productivity, reason why he brought along officials of Minipia to present to the youth the various opportunities available for them to grab. The stakes of the December 6 regional elections were presented to the supporters of the party. The event ended with the cutting of the anniversary cake.
And over in Kribi, efforts by the New Deal government to speed up the development process of Kribi and the entire Ocean Division have been hailed by supporters of the party. As President Paul Biya clocks 38 years in power, their hope is that he should continue promoting living together, national unity and social cohesion. Cyril Noazeke.
The celebrations in Kribi 2 subdivision, which marked President Paul Biya's 38th anniversary in power, assembled CPDM supporters, friends and well-wishers at the Kribi 2 Council Hall, where one after the other speakers for the day called on militants to remain faithful to the party.
He is a strong father. A father that can rule for 38 years is not a joke. And as Cameroon is in peace, no matter the strife or the crises that are in the southwest and northwest and also in the north, but he is still managing the affairs of this country very well. So
the supporters were also encouraged to support President Paul Biya's efforts to promote national cohesion and strengthen living together in a one and indivisible Cameroon.
It's a place that we have taken from our grandfathers and they allow the country to be one country, so I will not see why we'll divide it.
The CPDM followers in Kribi 2 subdivision celebrated the day without the usual fanfare that characterized previous anniversary due to the coronavirus pandemic.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
Let's cut into the second canton now and talk about the fight against the coronavirus pandemic and this last phase of our tour of the 10 regions of the country to see how the country is faring in that fight. Today we go to the Northwest region to see how health professionals are pushing forward with the Zero Prevalence campaign. We meet Baldwin Sama at the Public Health Emergency Center in a video chat with his guest, Northwest Regional Delegate of Public Health, Dr. Kingsley Che. Hello, Baldwin.
Well, good evening to you, Benin Bumagana. After the Southwest region yesterday, this Sunday we take you over to the Northwest region of the country, where our guest is the Northwest Regional Delegate for Public Health, Dr. Kingsley Che. So, Mr. Regional Delegate, good evening.
Good evening, Baldwin.
Tell us, Mr. Regional Delegate, where are you guys so far with the Zero Prevalence campaign against COVID-19 launch in the Northwest region of Cameroon?
So in the Northwest region, the COVID-19 Zero Prevalence Survey is being conducted in the city of Bamenda, where we have selected 3 sample collection sites. That is the Food Market, the Commercial Avenue, and somewhere around in Queen Market. Our objective is actually to collect blood samples from 1,000 persons. And so far, after working for 10 days, we've been able to collect 218 samples. This exercise is going to go on till the end of December. And we are calling on the population of Bamenda to continue to collaborate with the medical teams so that this survey can record a success in our region.
Tell us, Mr. Regional Delegate, are there any patients under intensive care in the Northwest region of Cameroon? What is the situation like about the COVID-19 in that part of the country?
Actually, we have 32 patients that we are managing. But what you should know is that there's only one moderate case who is being hospitalized in the Bingo Baptist Hospital, and the remaining 31 cases are being managed at home. So we don't have any case on oxygen, and we don't have any case that is hospitalized in any of the other treatment centers. We have a total of 21 treatment centers that are functional.
Dr. Kingsley Cheso, you are the Northwest Regional Delegate of Public Health for being our guest this evening. Benin Bumagana, that's the situation in the Northwest region of the country. That's the end of the third phase or the third round to the 10 different regions of the country. Next weekend, we begin the fourth round, the fourth tour to the 10 different regions of the country to get a pulse as far as the spread of the coronavirus is concerned. Back to you, Benin Bumagana.
Thank you very much, Baldwin Sama from Cameroon, and please take good care of yourself. A radio program to highlight the different challenges to the start of the 2020-2021 academic year has ended at the Crtv national station. For several weeks, the presenters and producers focused on reports about the start of the academic year, issues of registration and housing for new and returning students. Details with Yoti Kaleli Songe.
Je suis Daniel Augustin Tekmitamak. I am Chonko Bekebisa.
Voices that lured the audience to follow Varsity Forum Campus Ouvert on FM 88.8. Back in the studio, there's a little laughter, some dancing, and the mood is set. This edition of Varsity Forum marks the end of seasonal programs and school reopening over Crtv's national station.
It was a new challenge which helped me to do a lot of research in the higher education sector.
Then comes the director with a big thumbs up, but they admit it wasn't an easy season.
In this particular year, it has been respect of barrier measures. Sometimes we had to resolve to send questionnaires via WhatsApp and get sound bites, and we were able to get packages even from our regional correspondents.
Thank you to all the colleagues and the head of the regional station of CRTV, because they help us to have a national color of the programs.
With kudos and tact, the mics in the studio go off while some bid farewell to listeners. But as from this November 30, the audience will be served with Artifice de Fête, end of year glue 4 to 5 p.m. on weekdays.
Some Muslim faithful from across the 10 regions of Cameroon have been trained on humanitarian activities and hygienic ways of handling corpses from accidents during epidemics and pandemics. The training took place during the just-ended Crtv 2020 edition of Mu Ya Mu, a phrase in Hausa that highlights unity among Muslims all over the country. Polycarp Atiefon reports.
The 2020 edition of Moyamo, a Muslim humanitarian association, brought together in Crtv in the Ocean Division religious dignitaries such as imams, ulemas, sheikhs, alongside the faithful from the 10 regions of the country. The reunion punctuated by reading sessions of the Holy Quran, which were supplemented by a sermon at the Central Mosque of Crtv. On this occasion, the participants were educated on the different hygienic methods to handle mortal remains in times of epidemics, pandemics, and in the event of an accident.
We have talked about funeral rites of a believer, from his sickness to the agony till his death.
The presentations given and the exchanges that follow were enriching and timely as the world faces a serious disease such as the COVID-19. This initiative given was appreciated by the participants who gathered in Crtv.
So I'm very, very happy being part, and I congratulate the Yamu and Crtv for their strenuous effort in organizing this important event.
The 2020 edition of Moyamo has therefore written a new chapter in the master plans of the Muslim communities in Cameroon on various methods to be applied to cope with the emergency situation in the event of health crisis and the handling of bodies of victims according to Muslim ethics.
The mortal remains of late CRTV's news presenter Mireille Lambeau have been laid to rest in her village, Bacham, in the Bambutus division of the West region. During the last funeral service, Mireille Lambeau was described as a loving and caring person whose lifestyle sets an example for others to emulate. Baldwin Sama tells us that CRTV's Director General was represented at the funeral by the Radio Central Director, Dr. George Ewane. Here is Baldwin's report.
The end of Mireille Lambeau's afternoon edition, where difficult it was to bid farewell, her absence will forever remain present in the minds of many. Colleagues, friends and family members of the deceased turned out massively to pay their last respect to the one most described as gentle, soft-spoken and always smiling. The different eulogies described Mireille Lambeau as an angel loved by many.
My mom has always been someone who is calm, kind-hearted, and always open. May her soul rest in peace.
The representative of CRTV's Director General, Dr. George Ewane, the Radio Central Director, describes her as a staff to be emulated by many.
Mireille was an angel from that family who served CRTV as an angel, and angels only come from heaven, and when it comes to this, angels can only go back to heaven. And so the Director General is asking the family to understand and imbibe in them the knowledge that they will always remain a CRTV family.
Mireille Lambeau, since 1999, has selflessly served CRTV both on radio and TV. She leaves a vacuum of efficiency.
Because this is one person who never had issues with any other worker. She was a peacemaker. She was indeed an angel.
As the heavens get ready to welcome Mireille Lambeau, she dies at 48, leaving behind a son, her family, especially the CRTV family and the world at large, to mourn her.
May your soul rest in perfect peace, Mireille Lambeau. In sports, judo, Team Cameroon has emerged champion of the 2020 Africa Judo Open in Yaoundé with a total of 44 medals, with 9 of them in gold. The continental tournament brought together 61 athletes from 9 countries. It ended today at the Multi-Sports Complex, as we hear in this report by Romeo Kmer.
Gold medals were rare for Team Cameroon on day 2 of the Africa Judo Open. In 10 finals scheduled on this last day of the competition, home-based athletes managed to grab 3 gold. In the men's minus 81 kilogram, Tegen Blaise Chewi of Apaut Mbuyi Kalonji from Ivory Coast, and Ipon was sufficient to win gold. Are Sofina Ayuk challenged countrymate Azemo Teka Ingrid to snatch her medal.
To continue to grab my points to qualify for the Olympics.
And some mistakes I did within the year, and I had to just put it in place to correct the errors, and that's it. I got the gold.
Cameroon's most disappointing performances came from Dolasem Dieudonné and Mepoué Daniel, who were sent packing in the minus 90 and plus 100 kilograms categories. In a nutshell, Team Cameroon has emerged champion of the Yaoundé Africa Judo Open, clinching 44 medals with 9 in gold. The next Africa Judo Open is slated for next week in Dakar, Senegal.
Thank you very much for watching the 7:30 news. At 8:30 this time, you will get Martinuel Ndengue. I'll be back here on Friday. But for tomorrow, news continues on CRTV. Thank you very much for watching. Good night. God bless you.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing